thank you so much for joining us. Today we want to hear a little bit about your experience securing an internship offer. I think you have one of the most amazing stories I've heard, and I'm really excited to share it today with our guests.
Brilliant, thank you so much, and thanks for having me on. Look, I'm very fortunate to be able to say that I'm going to be joining Goldman Sachs in July for a full-time position in investment banking. I would love to say that the journey was simple, and I did a spring internship, then got a summer from that, and then a full-time, but it was everything but that. But let's kind of rewind back a few years. So I started university in 2021, and when I came in, so I'm doing physics right now, so I'm in my last year, and when I came in, I was, what am I going to do? I wasn't even thinking about my career, all those things. I just come into university, and a few months in, I hear these people talking about spring weeks. I'm like, what is a spring week? It's a week we have fun, and what is it? And then by the time I realized what it is, it's this amazing week which you spend at a bank and learning about the firm and the culture. By that time, everything had already gone, and I was like, okay, what do I do here? And my dad is actually a software engineer in an investment bank, and that's really like where the seed got planted, I think, for going into a role in finance. And I'd say my first avenue into all of this was learning about trading, and my dad was like, you should do something this summer, make yourself useful. And honestly, like in a first year, you don't really get the opportunity to work at a big bank. They won't even look at your CV, but I thought it would be a really good opportunity to try and find an opportunity at a smaller firm, basically. And I got a great job at this small firm called Comply, just literally a two-man operation. They were a fintech firm providing regulatory services for banks and hedge funds, and I was working as like a junior software engineer intern for the summer. But in that experience, I was able to talk to clients. I was getting all this terminology thrown at me, counterparty trade, OTC, all of these things, and I just found myself going back and reading and learning about it. And I found it so interesting. And the year after that, I applied for sales and trading roles at investment banks. I didn't get a single offer, so this is my second year summer. I didn't get a single offer, but I was lucky to get an offer at a firm called Galaxy. They're a really, really big crypto, almost like a crypto investment bank. So they have, your M&A, they have advisory, they have sales and trading, they have asset management. It's like pretty much an investment bank, and I was fortunate enough to have a role on the options market making desk for the summer. That was my first experience of a trading floor, and it's an amazing experience. It's not as big as obviously the big banks trading floors, but the vibe was there, the sounds, the Bloomberg terminals, everything you see in the movies, it was all there. And I really enjoyed my time there, and they really liked me as well, and they extended a return offer to me, and I was like, wow, second year, I already got a return offer. At the end of the internship, they said, look, two or three of the big traders at the firm have left, and we can't extend an offer to you because we don't see any point in hiring a junior person. So obviously you can't say anything to that. It's just life, and honestly it's really good because if people go through like streamline straight through the process, they don't actually experience this early on in their career, and this is a really big reality. You can get just the door shut in your face at the end of what you might have thought was a great opportunity. But yeah, so second year summer, so this is what 2023, sorry, and I obviously back to the drawing board again, back to applying, but now I'd sort of realized, the application process starts August, or starts July, end of July, August. It keeps going on until November. So like I had this in my head, and this is where I applied to those big banks again, and I was much more prepared. I got a few offers, and I took the one with Goldman Sachs for the sales and trading, what they call FIC and equities internship, which was in 2024. Obviously, delighted, amazed, so happy. It felt like everything worked out, and the end was near. And I did my internship. It was an amazing experience. The place is just, you walk into the building and it's, oh my god, like it's way more than you ever thought it would be. And it's just the vibe and the feeling of being there is incomparable to anything else. And the way it works is a rotation program. It's very standard, so you do 3 or 4 rotations. So I rotated in something which is akin to quant research. It's called structuring. And I did credit volatility trading, as well as more equity and systematic volatility trading. and projects, presentations, speaking to managing directors, that exposure you get, the ability to build your network at such a young age. And this term networking, it's thrown around all the time. You should network, you should speak to people. What the hell does that mean? What does it mean to network? And all it really means is to speak to someone and learn from them, and just to have your name in their head somewhere. So if there's an opportunity coming up, they'll the first person they'll email is you, hey, look, we have something coming up. That's really the end goal of networking, I would say. And I had a similar story. I had a soft offer from one of the desks. They were a systematic vol structuring team. Felt amazing, and then towards the end, they said the position that we were going to hire you for, the management in the gods in New York have said, sorry, that doesn't exist anymore, so we're going to have to take it back. So second time, bang, straight door closed in the face, and that was really when I felt, okay, this is the second time. Is there something wrong with what I'm doing? And they made it really clear that it's this happens. This thing where you think you're very set. You're going to get something. That feeling is really good, but you should not really hang on to that, because anything can happen. But luckily enough, an investment banking team, actually a very markets focused investment banking team called Fig Structured Finance. They basically, if you watch The Big Short, the guys who Michael Burry talked to at Goldman Sachs, that investment banking team, so that's the team who reached out to me. They said, we're really interested in your CV. We're looking for someone market-based. We're working with structured products, mortgage. This is all sort of your ABSs, CDSs, CLOs, CDOs, all of these things, structured products in the credit space. And they said, we want to talk to you. So I had sort of 12, 13 interviews with them. And it's combination of technical, all of the normal stuff. And I was really delighted and they told me, we'd like to offer you a position.
Wow, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you so much for sitting down and telling us all of that. And I was just kind of curious if you could give one takeaway for students. They just come here, freshmen. Mm-hmm. What advice do you give?
What advice I give? As a freshman, and someone who's coming in as a fresher, it's very easy to say you don't know what you want to do, in life, or you don't know what you want to do in university. After university. And what I say to that is, it's not just finance, but a lot of these, even consulting, you have, designer brands and stuff. They offer these spring weeks, and getting on a spring week, they're not looking for someone with experience. A spring week is all about, do you want to work here? And they want to. They're not judging you. It's more you're judging the firm. Do I want to work here? And the firm is going to do its best opportunity to show you, come work here, this is what we offer. So my advice is, even if you don't want to work in finance, apply to a spring week. As soon as you enter university, search at the big banks' names, apply to the spring weeks, because you don't know. You go on the spring week, and you might enjoy it. And that's when, and the beauty of that is you have, number one, you have a spring week on your CV. Brilliant, Number two, a lot of these spring weeks allow for somewhat fast-track conversion to a summer internship. So let's say you're at the stage, I like this, I want to do this, I want to do investment banking, I want to do asset management, and you want to work, and you want to do a summer internship there. Well, you have this great opportunity now to fast-track yourself into that firm. You can get a final round interview immediately, and that's when you can work to your benefit, and it will make your life easier. Hopefully it won't be as sort of miserable as mine, but yeah, my one also comes with its pros, but yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah, and then I guess just sounded like you believe that something's going to work out.
As cliche and as cringy as it sounds, you have to believe in your ability, and you have to believe that, the reasons which happened for what happened to me were not as much, I was doing something wrong technically, I was doing something wrong, in a personable sort of way. I was given that reassurance that, that stuff is right. So you just have to sort of believe that, okay, I've done it once, that means I can do it again. And there's nothing, it's just fine, you have to do the groundwork again, but that's okay, because as you do that groundwork again, you go on investing.com, you learn about, quantitative easing or something like that. If you do that homework, well, You might not get an internship at the end of it, but you've done that work and you know that stuff. And if something comes to you and someone reaches out to you, and who knows, they ask you about quantitative easing in your interview, well, brilliant, you know about that. And that's what I'd say.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And although Investopedia has a great article, if you want to learn about quantitative easing, we covered that in our last episode on central banking. But thank you so much for coming down, and good luck again in your full-time position.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Triple IP. Credit to our producers, Aaliyah Friedman, Louis Kim. Head of Marketing, Samhat Raman. Juniors, Ken Zhang, Angie Zhao. Head of Scriptwriting, Alfred Choi. Juniors, Aditya Mutha Kumar, Kwan Lin. Head Liaison, Lucrezia Poloni. Junior, Ekaterina Vitor. Head of Audio, Isaac Chu. Junior, Cyrus Lee. Head of Sponsorship, Sami Liu and Vladimir Dmitriev. Juniors, Leo Lee, Jamila Tabet, Utkarsh Jetli.